welcome back to a brand new video. Today, the preview to the Australian Grand Prix. With 6 days until the start of the season in Melbourne, let's talk about headlines for each team going into this race after testing. Before I even start, comment below who will be the driver of the day. Not the voted one at the end of the race. That's just a popularity contest, but who will win it on merit. Also, slap that like button for our shared anticipation for the start of the 2017 season. But first, let's talk about the track itself. Albert Park is 5.303 kilometers. That's roughly 3.3 miles long in length. They usually go around 58 times, covering a total distance of 307.5 kilometers or 191.1 miles in track distance. Beautiful track, and let's hope it is dry for the race start at least. No one wants to see a race start under safety car, especially the first race, especially since rain is on the forecast. But it is like no other track. It holds an unrivaled sense of optimism. This is why it is so special. Everyone thinks that they can win, and history suggests that they can. Being the first race after testing, a lot of teams are optimistic about their chances for the upcoming season. Let's talk about each team separately and what to expect for the race weekend and what to look for. Mercedes, the overall favorite to win the driver and constructors titles with their cars, seem to be downplaying their chances after testing in Barcelona with their new signing Valtteri Bottas. Looking forward to driving the Mercedes Silver Arrow for the first time in a race. It is Lewis Hamilton in my mind. That will be the overall #1 driver for the Mercedes team. Sorry, Mercedes fans. The ones that are looking forward to Valtteri Bottas being the #1, being the overall favorite. I just think Hamilton will outshine him. And I'm fully expecting Hamilton to take pole despite Ferrari having an impressive testing session. That leads me to Ferrari, the overall winners of the fastest lap in Barcelona during testing both weeks. But I'm sure they are feeling confident about their season after that. But they still suspect that Mercedes were holding something back during testing like they usually do, since in 2016 and 2015 it was sort of a similar situation, with Ferrari leading in overall lap time, but they struggled the entire year and didn't even get one race win in 2016. With Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen both at the helm, both world champions in their own right, in their own time, are looking forward to their more competitive team and hope they can take the fight to Mercedes this year. Red Bull, of course, if Red Bull had anything to say about it, they hope it is a 3-horse race for the first race win, not just a one-team dominated sport like it has been the last 3 years. Yes, Red Bull won 4 championships in a row, but they didn't win every single race for 3 years straight, kind of like what Mercedes has done in the hybrid era. But hopefully Daniel Ricciardo can be the first Australian to win his home Grand Prix. That would be great. We all know he is always all smiles all the time, but he definitely would be smiling after a race win in Melbourne. Also, we also get to see Max Verstappen's first race in a Red Bull at this track. As you guys already know, you may not even know, at this point in time last year, he was still with Toro Rosso, and he didn't make the switch to Red Bull, I think, until China? Yeah, until the Chinese Grand Prix. Renault with their new driver lineup and Nico Hulkenberg and Julian Palmer and those ugly jumpsuits. They will be looking to make a splash their second year back in Formula One. Last year was abysmal considering that they had a chassis that wasn't designed for their engine that they put in it, so it made their car unpredictable, uncompetitive near the end of the season. And Kevin Magnussen, not Julian Palmer, got the majority of their constructors' points for the season. They will be looking for better results this year, though, and eyes will be on them to perform at a higher level than last season. Williams, although they have a lot of money with having Lance Stroll's dad paying his way in with $25 million, they really don't know how they will do, at least in the Constructors' Championship side of things. With Stroll crashing 3 times in 4 days during testing, he is already getting an early reputation similar to Pastor Maldonado. But he is young, and mistakes are bound to happen. But it is how he reacts afterwards that matters, and we will see how his maiden Grand Prix goes. Also, we will see how Felipe Massa handles his race after briefly retiring and then unretiring after the Lance Stroll signing and Bottas being poached by Mercedes. Does he still have some racing in him? I think so, but just not at a full tilt level just yet. But he may come back with force, but we all don't know. We're all just guessing here. Sorry for going kind of fast, but I have a lot of information to cover in a short amount of time. So let's continue on to Force India. They're looking to build off their highest constructors placement ever last year in 2016, coming fourth place in the constructors championship. They hope to match their result this year in 2017 with a new driver signing and with Esteban Ocon making his maiden start with Force India and Sergio Perez as their number one driver. They have a shot at replicating their 2016 result. Of course, Hulkenberg was a solid driver. The younger Ocon will have to show some results quickly to give Force India a chance. Maybe with their new sponsor money can help with that. It's just unfortunate they have to turn their car pink to get that money. Already been on the brunt of some heckling for the car color. Going to have to shut up their mouths with a good result in order for people to be quiet and accept their pink car. But, it's still a pink car. But yeah, on to Toro Rosso. Carlos Sainz and Daniel Kvyat both are looking to impress this season, and no better place than Albert Park to do so. I suspect if neither of them get promoted at the end of the season, both will be walking to either another team or out of Formula One altogether, unfortunately. Both are talented, especially Sainz, but that is how Formula One is at the moment. Having had their best testing session yet in Barcelona this year, coupled with arguably the sexiest livery on the grid, all eyes will be on them to go after the fourth spot to the Constructors' Championship this year. And hopefully we can have a three-way fight for fourth place with Force India, Williams, and Toro Rosso. Then you got Haas. As you can see, I got my new Haas hat. It just came in the mail on my birthday present to myself. But yeah, Haas, of course, we want to be fourth or fifth place on the Constructors' Championship this season. But I don't think that is in the cards. With it only being our second year, all we can really focus on is improving from last season. With Renault making steps forward and Manor out of Formula One completely, the job is just to beat Sauber at the very least. With new driver Kevin Magnussen having full confidence in his new team and car, and Romain Grosjean staying cool and collected, I think Haas can pick up some solid points in the Constructors' Championship this coming season. Grosjean doesn't think he can replicate his sixth place finish last year in Haas's maiden start in Formula One. I hope he's wrong and he does, and he can get back to having full confidence just like Kevin Magnussen. I will make a more detailed video about Haas altogether later, but for now we're just going to continue on for this. But Sauber, we're going to continue on Sauber. New driver signing Pascal Wehrlein will make his maiden start with Sauber come Sunday alongside Marcus Ericsson. I'm sure they will know that they have a high probability of bringing up the rear this season. Usually get to battle Manor for that spot, but obviously not anymore. I'm sure, and I'm hoping that Pascal drives with a chip on his shoulder after being snubbed for the Mercedes second seat. I know a lot of you didn't want him or didn't think that he's worthy of that seat, but he is a Mercedes driver. He is in the Mercedes driver program. He won a DTM championship. He brought 1 point to Manor in a really uncompetitive car. So why do you have to be in a program if you aren't even in consideration of ever being promoted? This seems like a waste of time, waste of his time, and thinking he will be moving on next season from Mercedes. He is young and he is talented, and you're just wasting his time in these low-level teams. Last but not least, McLaren. Do you think they will even finish the Grand Prix? I hope they do, but that would mean they solved the basics in their engine. They couldn't even finish the full testing day on any of the days during testing in Barcelona. Going through 6 engines in 8 days, that's ridiculous. Will Fernando Alonso stay with the team throughout the year? If he doesn't, is he done for good? Obviously, Jenson Button would step back in most likely, but do you really think Alonso's going to call it quits even if the car is uncompetitive? But Stoffel Van Dorn, isn't going anywhere soon and looked promising last year in his maiden start for McLaren, having filled in for Alonso, getting 1 point in his maiden race. So he'll make his maiden start in Australia for his first full season in Formula One. Wow. As you can tell, that's just a lot of information in just a short amount of time. And think, I only like hovered through basic topics of the season. So, so many storylines to keep track of. But that is why Formula One is so interesting to me. You got all the teams and all their own stories, and they're all their own goals. So all teams have their own stories and their own battles to deal with, all on different levels, of course, but battles to win nonetheless. I may not be able to make a video after each session due to work and time difference and such, but here is my coverage here in the U.S. If you don't know it, here it is. It's pretty abysmal, as you can see, but I will have an overall practice roundup and a qualifying race and a qualifying roundup and a race roundup separately after each of those sessions after I watch it. I also like to thank everyone for the support I've been getting these last couple months, especially the last couple weeks. It really means a lot to me. I hit 3,000 total views on Saturday and got some overall. As always, subscribe if you're new. Slap that like button for good measure. My goal is 100 subs by the end of the year, and I'm almost halfway there to my goal. So anything that you guys can help me reach that goal, that'd be great. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. I'm Brandon with USF1, your source for Formula One news here in North America. Until my next video, guys, take care.